Hello, Paul from Mode 7 here again. Just a quick one today. We've been really busy on levels once more. So something that I didn't realise was happening was that Robin, our tester and level designer, was having to restart the game and kind of play through a bit in order to get levels to trigger when he was testing them. So Ian today managed to sort out a system where, as I did there, I can just hit a button, it'll go into the game, start up all the city stuff, take the level, position it within the city in an intelligent place, and then allow me to play it sort of in situ without having to kind of mess around with the game. So this process is just entirely automated. I can tab away from the window while the game is doing this if I want, and then I can just come down in here and get playing the levels. So that really makes an enormous difference in terms of level flow. So we're still trying to target like a super early level, hopefully the first level in the game. And here this is a restaurant and there's a car park here and there's just one enemy outside. There are two ways in, and there's also this little building down here which you can take a look in. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to long turns my way in here and try and take out that person on the outside. So let's do that. One of the things we're working on at the moment is the relationship between the lots, so the overall sort of exterior of these buildings. A bit of lag there with some civilians and me not clicking on the window. We're trying to work on, the lot is basically this area, and it's always randomly generated. And then this area here is part of the level that we have preset called a fit gen that is rotated and fitted into this lot area. So one of the things, especially with early levels, I want them to be quite sort of crafted and the experience to be quite consistent. As you get better at the game, we can throw more random stuff at you, patrols, different groups of enemies, smaller buildings with people charging out of them, and it's fine. But for an early level, you don't want that. You want to make the experience quite consistent. So here I think we've got a nice balance of the level being small enough. You have something to do on the way in, you have an optional building to go to, and it still doesn't take you too long. So I'm going to come in here, unlock that fog zone there, come in here. I will have another chat with you about fog zones in a sec, but you'll be able to see here a bit more of a coherent use of them. We have been doing a lot of thinking on this. As we're kind of waiting for this, I will just explain to you. The idea now is that these buildings are on lockdown, so there'll be shutters over these windows, there will be locked doors, and if you break the security system, you just open the building up. So all of the doors that we want will open, all of the windows will open, and you'll get into a situation where you're attacking. So thematically, that would be that the enemies have locked the building down to try and defend it against you, and you're simply opening it up and engaging them. Now, what you can see here is that we're not doing room by room fog zones in this. That was getting a bit tedious. It might be something that we use for special levels rarely, but it almost certainly won't be used all the time. So I've decided to come in through this route. It is obviously possible to come in through there, and there's just some weak pistol units inside, which will be fairly easy to take out. There's three of them, so you do have to pay some attention to what you're doing, especially if you kind of get to here and one comes out. We shall just see what they're doing. But again, this is supposed to be the early level, and I played the very first level from FS1 yesterday in my video, and you can really see just kind of how straightforward that was. It was really just trying to get your units roughly in the right position, get them aiming in the right position, and so on. So here we just managed to come in and overwhelm them. We have really good cover. There's another one in there who is sort of basically just turtling. I will just actually pop a unit up there. I'm going to run in and get this relic, pick up item, start running out, and I will just show you how this room works down here, and off we go. So we wanted this level to not just kind of put you into an immediate situation, but introduce the idea of lots, introduce the idea of positioning on the road and moving into the building and then unlocking the building and going for it. So incorporating some of the more in-depth, newer features in the game, but also being nice and straightforward, nothing too pressurizing. We did have an ambush in this level, the dreaded ambush, where when you got the relic, enemies would run out of that building down at the bottom. They would run out of here. But the problem was with that, if you were sort of around here and that happened, you could get enemies kind of coming or flanking you, and it was a bit sort of difficult and stressful for new users. So there we go. That's cool. We can go in. There's a civilian hiding in there with some money, and that's quite a nice little extra on the level. So a very, very simple level, but I hope you can see flows a lot better, a lot more coherent than some of the other stuff I've been showing. Thanks. Hello again. Let me get to your questions really quickly. Bluetog 9009, thank you for the nice comments. You said FS1 is kind of about digging out of a situation. FS2 is a little bit more digging into a situation. Kind of is like that. Fog zone stuff, I'm not going to be going through everyone's comments on that again this time. I think the lockdown idea is getting closer to the thing that everyone agrees makes sense. So we will just try that conceptually and work on it. The individual room by room stuff wasn't working, so that's unlikely to be used much. We might do some levels that are based on that, but there'll be more novelty levels. George M, thanks for the nice comment. Yeah, transition times, committing. Ian did some work on that and reduced it down massively. I don't think we're going to be reducing it down again. There are plenty of games that have to have turn calculations. The way we do it means that it has to be like that, unfortunately, but we will get some nice art. We will look into trying to keep the main screen up if we can do that. I don't know if that's possible. We will look into it. Blood splatter, yeah, it's nice. Thank you for that, Udi Shankar. I think you're just saying that you like it, which is fine. How is the music coming? The music is basically finished. There might be a couple of other tracks that I do later on, but we'll see. It's basically in the can. I will do a video and play some of it, hopefully at some point. Beefiestable, hello. I recognize your name. I also recommend your name. Is the fog zones just for the campaign? Yeah, the fog zones are just for the campaign. Yeah, this thing of individual rooms. Hopefully, you know, we've kind of dealt with that. Matthias Thorngen, hope I pronounced your name correctly. Looking forward to single player levels, whereas before in FS I only sought PvP. Well, hopefully we want to bring some multiplayer players into this. I think we're going to have some pretty challenging levels. There's going to be a lot to take into account. The AI is a lot better in this game, so that's cool. Speak about planning the dev process of FS2. I should ask Ian about this question, really, because he is the person that is in control of the overall schedule. We're very much... My cat is going crazy in the background. I don't know if you can hear him. We are kind of beholden to his schedule in terms of prototyping, in terms of fleshing everything out, and we're just trying to make the best game possible. So we work on things until they're good. Hopefully you can see some of that process as I do these daily videos. Where is Visiting the Village gone? I would love to bring Visiting the Village back. Both Ian and I don't have a lot of time at the moment. I'm spending a lot of my energy that I have for this kind of thing on what you're watching right now. But perhaps I can get Ian to come in and do a video with me or something along those lines at some point. That would be good. Explosive Lava, you had an idea for a stealth unit that can kind of disguise itself. It's a cool idea. I don't think we're going to be adding any secondary mechanics to the game just yet. We have a lot of those, but it's a cool idea nonetheless. Thanks for the nice comments about the levels in FS1 and so on. Appreciate those. Industrial Bonecraft, yeah. Jammed Radar, we're sort of moving away from that now. Piotr Rubel, that was a bad pronunciation attempt, but it was an earnest attempt nonetheless. What about the story of FS2? Will it have characters, dialogue, story missions like FS1? I want to do story stuff. We're working on a story synopsis at the moment. We need to see how these levels pan out. I focus very much on the levels and the content and the flow of the game first, and then we'll work the story beats into that. I have both in mind at the same time, but I really am kind of beholden to the game. There's a loud beeping alarm going on outside, which hopefully will stop. It's very distracting. Rachel comments on fog. Yes, that is just what I want more of. Exactly. Again, hope I've addressed some of that. Litigation Jackson, thanks for your nice comments on the music from FS2. I definitely want to do a video playing some of it soon. Andrew Morris, really seems like it should be possible to eliminate the processing time after you prime your orders. That would be lovely. It's not possible. Ventus Wings, if the intention of Fog Zone is to divide the map into sectors that players can choose to reveal, it might be a good idea to embrace it and have enemies activate only upon revelation. We do that a lot. They don't necessarily sort of patrol around and do things inside the fog zone. They can do. It's something that we're kind of playing with, but at the moment they're mostly set up so that when you unlock, you have an interesting situation right away. Yes, by reduced ambush behavior, I did mean enemies running out of fog zones at you that's going to happen relatively little in the entire game. We're not changing anything else about the core gameplay. Thanks. That's it for now, I think. If you have any more questions, please do comment on this video. I will try and get to them. Thank you for being so understanding as well. All of your comments are really helpful and useful, and we're all discussing them internally here. More videos soon. Thank you.